Today we have two quick landlord-tenant cases. And Judge Middleton, who teaches us an important life lesson.
This goes under the category of no good deed goes unpunished. Herman versus Lindsay Geib. Miss Geib is here. I went through the advice of rights with her a few minutes ago. This is filed as a termination of tenancy. You guys are all in the same house at Depot Street in Constantine. Mr. Herman, your position is you want her to move out? I had you. Can you hear me? Now your microphone is on mute somehow. I had you better the first time.
Here, use this.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. Well, you got two things on, so we got a sound loop.
Kill it.
Okay. Use
Okay. I've got you
All
with
right.
just a cell phone.
Very good. So you want her to move? Correct?
Yes, I would like her to move out.
Ms. Guy, what's your position?
We're doing everything we can to find a place and move out.
Are you related?
No.
No, we were friends.
Well, let me advise both of you that the law requires that I continue this matter for 7 days. So I'm going to continue it to October 20th, 23 at 10:50. Now, Ms. Guy, if they get what they asked for, you would have 7 days from that day to move out, or you would be subject to being evicted. So that would be till October 30th. But he's trying to do this the right way. Some people say, I'm going to throw your stuff out in the street. Well, you can't. You're a tenant. And he's been trying to get you out since July. The notice to quit was filed in July. We're going to be almost to November. So the truth of the matter is they'd never move unless there was a legal process to force it. So, and the Supreme Court now says you get an additional 7 days before your 10 days. So that's just what it is. So if you're not out by the 30th and he gets what he asked for, the sheriff could come put your stuff out. You say we, who else is there with you?
My two boys.
How old are they?
9 and 4.
All right. Mr. Herman, anything else you wish to say?
Your Honor, I technically have not been living in that house since the 9th of July. I have actually been forced out due to the fact that I felt unsafe in that house with her being there. I have been forced out since the 9th of July.
All right. Well, that does not seem fair. You're living in his house and not paying any rent and not being very active about trying to move. So you got 7 days and we'll address it, and then you'll have 10 days from then. This is not about money damages. It's about possession. Now, if you do move, you need to turn in the keys and give your forwarding address in writing within 4 days of your moving, but he wants his house back. And so let's see what we can accomplish. Ms. Guy, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll see you next Friday at 10:50. If you move
10:50.
before then, you don't need to show up. But if you're still
Do I
there,
use the same meeting ID next Friday?
correct. We'll send you a new
Okay.
notice, but it's the same address. You were here early, which I appreciate, and you had a good signal. So I'll see you next Friday the same way.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. All right, we got one last matter. You guys are both good to go. I'll see you all next Friday. All right, Ms. Schemenauer, Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right, several issues. I want you to stop drinking and smoking while we're on the feed here. And you're right in front of a window, so I can't see you very well. All right, that's a little better. Thank you. This is file 231216. LT. This is a termination of tenancy. Tim and Sally Jackson are here. They indicate that you've got a camper parked behind their mobile home and you're living in it, and the township isn't going to let you do that. And they want you to move. So they filed this as what's called a termination of tenancy action. So let me tell you what your rights are. Mr. and Mrs. Jackson, can you hear me?
Yes.
As a defendant in a landlord-tenant proceeding, including a termination of tenancy, you have the following legal rights. You have the right to obtain counsel for representation in this matter. If you cannot afford an attorney, a legal aid attorney may be available to help you, and she may be back with us here in a moment. You have a right to a trial by a jury or by the court. If the action is for non-payment of rent, we would be taking a different course of action. If the plaintiff is agreeable, the Citizens Mediation Services, Inc. may be available as a possible source of case resolution. If both parties are agreeable, the court can help set that up. If you do reach an agreement with the plaintiff and a consent judgment is entered by the court, you would have the following additional rights. The judgment may not be enforced until 3 business days had passed. You could move to set aside the judgment within those 3 days if you misunderstood what you consented to or what you were waiving. Your motion to set aside the judgment would be set for a landlord-tenant hearing. However, if the judge does not find in your favor, the original judgment would stand. Am I correct, Mr. and Mrs. Jackson? She has a camper parked on your property on Balk Road?
Yes.
How did it come to be there?
Well, she didn't have a place to stay, and I was trying to help her. I give her the choice of living in our home. I told her if she lived in our home, she didn't have to pay any electric or anything, but I couldn't afford for her to live in that camper and pay for her electric and things. And no, she insisted that she wanted to be in that camper, and now I'm paying for her electric. And then she's got trash all over and clothes all over. I told her I didn't want her in, that she would have to be happy in that camper only. That I did not want her in that mobile home or shed.
All right. Well, slow down. Does she pay any rent?
No, nothing. We're paying. We tried to turn the electric off and locked the mobile home, and she broke in and got back on our electric.
Well, you can't do that. That violates the landlord-tenant lockout law. So you're going through the lawful process to have her move. Now, also the township, isn't it? I think that's Herman Township. They are going to let you have someone living in a camper on your property. So there are some zoning issues also, but we haven't gotten to that point yet. Ms. Schemenauer, they want you and your trailer to move. What's your position?
I just need a little bit of time to find to get someone to move it and to take it somewhere. And it was hard for me to get things moved because they kept saying that they were going to call the police on me if I were out there, and they shut my electric and my water off. So that's made it more difficult for me to go, but I just need a little bit of time and I will go.
All right. Is your electric and water off now?
No.
No, it's been going for a while. We've been paying for it for the last few months now.
I had just.
All right. They've
just
asked you to move since July. And you haven't had any luck it would have been a lot easier to do this in the summertime. Um,
Well, they kept changing their mind. They didn't say in
Well,
July, like for sure for me.
all right, what do you have for bathroom facilities?
There's a bathroom in my camper.
Are you having it pumped?
No, it goes in a
In a
it's called
holding tank?
yeah.
Yeah, which must be about full. So at this point, I'm going to continue this matter until 11 a.m. next Friday. That'll be 10, 20, 23 at 11 a.m. We got a lot of cases next Friday also. And then if they get what they ask for, you would have 10 days from that date to move, or you would be subject to being evicted. This goes under the category of no good deed goes unpunished. So they let you move in there. Now they're paying your electricity. You're not getting any rent, and they're on the bad side of the township for having an unlawful residency on their property. So you should make every effort to move and the trailer. So you would actually get 10 days from October 20th, which would be October 30th, to move everything out, you and the trailer. So have you made any effort to find a place to go?
I have I had a friend that says that I could stay, but of course he's male and me being female, it's not so easy.
Well, is this, what type of trailer is this?
It's a camper.
It's just
It's
a, how big
yeah,
is
it's
it?
probably 30 foot.
Do you have something to tow it with?
That's another problem, finding someone to move it for me. And I know that if I leave without my camper, they will I'll lose it, and I don't have anything
All right, well,
else.
does it have air in the tires? Could somebody back up and pull it out of there?
Yeah, it's just finding someone with a vehicle that's able to tow it.
Well, they've asked you to do that since July, and now it's more imminent than it was. We're going to continue this for 7 days, and then you'd have 10 days from that. So you have 17 days to get it out of there, or the sheriff will come haul it out of there, and that won't be good for anybody. So see what you can accomplish. At this point, they're not asking for money, they're just asking you to move. They could file a small claims action or something later for money, but this is just about possession. All right, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Mr. and Mrs. Jackson, we always are open and live, so if you wish to come in next week, like you did this morning, that's fine with me. I leave people in the conference room in case I need to put them in a separate breakout space. But Ms. Schemenauer, you did a good job of logging in. Remember, don't smoke or drink when you're in a court proceeding, but I will see you next Friday, unless you move. And if not, we'll address it further next Friday at 11 a.m. Does
Okay.
anybody have any questions?
I do.
Yes.
She has a truck pulled in there. And I don't know if she has a title to it or what, and it's been sitting there, just sitting there. Looks like they've been working on it, but it's been sitting there for a long time and not moving.
All right, well, if we have an eviction, you can have that truck removed also. So if she gets her stuff out of there, if she doesn't, you come back to the court on October 31st with $15 and we'll get rid of eviction. So Ms. Schemenauer, you should be making every effort to get out of there, at least within the next 17 days.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. I'll see you all next Friday. See how we're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.